Yo, I'm the best Ken player in the world. No one can beat me online. With my 3000 PP, I'm gonna win Evo. No one can beat me. I can jump fierce, Shoryuken into Ultra. I'm the best. 3. You all suck. Okay, that's enough Street Fighter. Let me check GameSpot. Maybe they have new reviews today. What's that? Blazblue? Calamity Trigger? Let me check that game. Looks like an anime. What? That's so cool. It's like they hand roll the game. Wow, okay. Oh, nice music. I like that. I dig that. Ragna? Ah, he looks too edgy for me. Jin, he looks like too much. Not my type. Oh my god! I'm in love. I need this game in my life now. And this is basically how I fell in love with Blazblue. The game that I've been playing for the past 10 years. So, what's up guys? Bashir here. Happy new decade. Just to be trendy like all the other people. Yeah, so I've been thinking about my gaming journey for the last 10 years. And only one game keeps getting stuck in my head, which is definitely Blazblue as a series. It's for me, it's my game of the decade. I feel like Blazblue really shaped my life for the past 10 years. So ever since I picked up Calamity Trigger on the Xbox 360, and I've been hooked to that series. The game is so amazing. Usually people when they're playing fighting games, they are looking for the gameplay aspect. But for me, what drew me into Blazblue was like the art style and the music. And to be honest, after I saw Noel and New Third Rate, I just wanted to play the game because everything looked so cool. So that's how I got more serious into fighting games. Before that, I used to dabble with Street Fighter 4, but only online. Like I was your random Ken player who just smashes Shoryuken and Hadouken online. Yeah, so for me, when I bought Calamity Trigger, I practically told everyone I know about it. So I showed it to my friends, I used to talk to it to my family, I used to like think about it all the time, you know. It was that kind of game to me. It was magical. Like. But during that time, I don't know what's like FGC, I don't know competitive. I just used to play the game like versus and sometimes online. And the game hooked me with the story, with the music, with the style. It felt special. And I just wanted to keep playing the game. So afterwards, like when 2010 came, when they released Continuum Shift, I also picked up that one. And I started to play the game more and more. But to be honest, I really started to play the game more seriously once Continuum Shift 2 came out. Because back then I was only playing like just to play the story mode, you know, just to do the Abyss mode, just to enjoy the offline modes, which sadly I cannot say like it's in the newer games you can have it like in BB Tag, but that doesn't matter. The main reason also that I get so attached to Blazblue is when they release Mew 12. For me, Mew 12 is my favorite fighting character of all time. I like villain characters, and when they released her in Continuum Shift, she was a villain character. You had to complete the game to unlock her. She felt really good to play, even though her playstyle felt underdeveloped. Like, her style is amazing. The character design, the game plan, Mew 12 just clicked with me. It's just like, if I want people to remember my fighting game career, I want them to remember me as the Mew 12 player. Even though that I play so many games now and I play so many different characters, this is the only character that I really, really identify with. Her design, her gameplay, her personality in Continuum Shift, it was just amazing. She was my main character, my main and only character. I used to sub also Lambda, but I was some Mew player. I cannot put to words how much I love that character. So during that time I was still like studying in Lebanon, and I used to play the game online on Xbox Live, so I wasn't really exposed to any community. So when I graduated college back in 2012, I came to Saudi Arabia in order to pursue a job and just work because my father and my brother was here. So during that time, I used to go to Facebook and I'm looking for like Blazblue community. Then I landed on one community and they used to be called Blazblue Arabia. So they had a tournament for Blazblue. And I'm like, there's a tournament for a fighting game? Is that even real? You know? Back then, I don't know what's Evo, I don't know what's FGC, I don't know what's combo videos. You know, back in my home country, like, internet is so limited. So basically, we only have access to the game. So we're like living in the 90s. So I signed up for that tournament. I think I had like the entrance fee, and I had enough food, enough money just to buy a meal or something. Luckily for me, with the entrance fee, you get a burger, so I was kinda happy. So my brother-in-law, he drove me there, and I participate. The thing is, I am playing on Xbox all my life, and those guys, they play on the PlayStation. So even the controller I bring, I don't even know how to use. Like, I cannot plug it in the PlayStation, so I just said, yeah, I'll borrow a controller and I'll try to play. And for me, the PS3 controller was alien. I didn't enjoy the grip. I preferred the Xbox because mainly of the analog sticks. It felt for me really good for fighting games. So I participated in that tournament, and the first match were between a Ragna and a Jin player. And the things I saw them do, like the combos, the neutral game, like, you know, when Jin was mashing the Sekka Jin, then he will continue a combo. For me, I never saw these things in my life, and I'm like, those people are playing a totally different game. Like, what's this game they're playing? It's not the Blazblue I know. Like, they are so good. Like, what are these combos? What is this? You know? So I panicked, to be honest. But luckily for me, I managed to get 4th place in that tournament. So I lost to that Ragna player. His name is Momochi. By the way, shout outs. That guy, he got 2nd place. And then I played against a Relius player. Relius and Bank player. That guy's name is Shaker. He's developing, by the way, a fighting game. I will link some information to it below. Yeah, so he beat me. So I was out of the tournament. And the grand finals were between that Ragna player and some random guy. I don't know, maybe he's a top player now in our region. Maybe best fighting game player. Maybe his name is Moom. Maybe. Maybe his Twitter is below. Yeah, so that guy plays Tawakaka, and in my mind, Tawakaka is a joke character. Like, who's gonna play her? So that Tawakaka player, he wrecked the Ragna player. Like, it was nothing, and like jumping up, down, mix up, reset, throw damage. And during that time, I felt really discouraged. Like, there is a Blazblue like this Blazblue. Like, what am I doing? I'm only playing online. Like, I need to get more of this sauce, you know. So I hook up with these guys, and I started to, like, I want to hang out with you guys, but I don't have a car, I don't have money, I don't have a way to meet with them, you know. Because back then, basically, if you don't have a car or you don't have money, you cannot go anywhere. There is no walking distance. So I waited until I became friends with them online. I used to play with them online. If they had a gathering near my house, I'll just go there and play. And during that time, I started to take fighting games really, really seriously. Because I wanted to get as good as those guys, you know. I wanted to beat them. I wanted to be that good. So if that guy is amazing with Ragna, what's stopping me from being amazing with Mu 12, you know? And no one played her. And I was really proud that I'm the only one who plays Mu 12. So I waited until I got a job. I got I got a car, and now I can just meet up with those people. So afterwards, all my life is Blazblue. To be honest, like, I used to have work friends. I stopped seeing them. Like, I used to go with my Blazblue friends, and those Blazblue friends, 7 years later, they are my best friends, and they're like a family to me. So that's also one of the reasons why that series is so close to my heart. Like, I met the best people in my life thanks to Blazblue. So we played and played and played. Then we see the trailer of what was it called? Yeah, Chrono Phantasma in the Japanese arcade. And that was like November 2012. And the Chrono Phantasma was released in March 2014. You know? So it was like hell waiting for that game. So we used to watch like the online like arcade, like Jordal and those people, and we were like, we want to get this game. We cannot wait to play this game, you know. For me, that kind of anticipation, like even though it was hard, it was also really exciting because whenever you met your friends, you're like, oh my god, you see like you see this guy, his name is Fenrich. Yo, you know Tsujikawa, he plays like that, you know. So we were all dreaming like what our characters will play like in Chrono Phantasma, and for me, like when I saw like the drastic change that Mu 12 had, I'm like, oh my god, this is a totally a new character. So we were really hyped about it. Actually, we were so hyped that on release day, I took a sick leave, I admit, from my work just to be able to play the game. And I remember that we stayed up like 48 hours. Like, I had work, I skipped it. The next day, I was the only one on duty, so I really needed to go to work. So I stayed up late. Until that time, I left from my friend's house to work. I finished work, then I came back to my friend's house just to play Blazblue. Like, my father is asking me, like, where are you, boy? I'm not seeing you. And I'm like, Papa, it's Blazblue. You know? So, Chrono Phantasma for me, like, CP 1.0 until CP 1.1, this was the magical period. Like, the game was so balanced. The game was so amazing, you know? Like, all the characters had things new. We had, like, new characters. We had, like, Kagura, Kokonoe, I think Terumi? Yeah. Terumi, like, and all the new characters, like, they feel fresh, you know, like, and we had, like, New 13, and I really put so much time in New 13 in Chrono Phantasma because of her mode change. So, during that time, we had tournaments, I participate, I played a lot, but after a while, I wanted to expand, like, my fighting game experience. Like, I don't want only to play Blazblue because there's so many different games, and I tried to get back to Street Fighter 4, especially like with Ultra Street Fighter 4, but it didn't click with me anymore. I didn't feel the same way I used to play it, so I tried to get into Under Night in Birth, but that game was so short-lived in our community. Like, people played it for like a couple of months, they just migrate to other games. So in reality, until now, I didn't really give Under Night its like due time. So I played and I played and played. Then they released the trailer for Guilty Gear Exile, and for me the game looked cool. And I didn't really own a PS4, so I didn't really care much about it because it doesn't have Mu 12. So what's the point, you know? So then they released the trailer for Rom Lethal Valentine, and that trailer made me want to play the character because, like, blonde hair, a villain, big swords, designed by Mori. He's like a Blazblue character that they put in Guilty Gear. So definitely I'm gonna play Guilty Gear. So I buy a PS4 because I'm gonna play Guilty Gear, and I buy an arcade stick on the PS4 because I'm gonna play Guilty Gear. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that I loved Blazblue so much that I decided to buy an arcade stick. They even asked one of my artist friends to design a color it and make for me a special day. So these were my main two characters in Chrono Phantasma. Yeah, back to Guilty Gear. So the period when Guilty Gear was released, like in our community, the Guilty Gear players, like, they really hated Blazblue. And they looked down on the Blazblue players, like, oh, you're playing a simple game, Guilty Gear was the real shit, you know. And for me, I felt like, who are you to talk to me like that? I'm gonna beat you at your own game. You're not coming to my Blazblue, I'm gonna beat you in your Guilty Gear. So I pick up Guilty Gear. And I dedicate like 3 months of my life. I just want to beat those Guilty Gear snubs, you know? And I got really, really good in Guilty Gear, like to the point where I am going toe-to-toe with the best players here in our region. I didn't really go to tournaments for Guilty Gear because at first I played it because I wanted to prove a point, but Rom Lethal made me stay, you know, like, I came for the competition, but I stayed for Rom Lethal. And I really loved that character. She was good, but secretly in my heart, I was hoping that they will put her in Blazblue. You know, we don't want her in the guilty game. You know, back then we were really elitist about fighting games. Like everyone was proud about their game. So we played and played, and after a while, Chrono Phantasma started to feel stale. You know, because خلاص, people. The problem here in the Middle East is that people get bored of fighting games very quickly, so they're always looking for the next thing. So back then, Blazblue was very like a hype game, and a lot of people were playing it. But afterwards, we were like a community of 6 people who were playing the game, so it didn't feel exciting until Chrono Phantasma Extend got released. And for me, this was the worst version of Blazblue. I really didn't enjoy it. It was like I felt like they were experimenting with the game, so they can see what they will do with the new Blazblue. We didn't play much Chrono Phantasma. During that time, I decided to focus more on Guilty Gear, especially like they had Revelator 1 and Ramlethal get really nerfed, so I really needed to work on my skills in that game. Some of my friends, they started to play Super Smash 4, so Blazblue for us was like a gathering game. Like, oh, we're hanging out, let's play some Blazblue, but no one of us picked up the game just to play it more seriously. And it was a shame, to be honest, because like I felt like Blazblue has died out during that period of time, and I was wondering like what's gonna happen, especially with the way that the story wrapped up in Chrono Phantasma. Then again, Mori does it, and they release a trailer for Central Fiction, and we are all hyped again, and we're only watching the matches, and we are looking at the changes, and the thing is, like, I remember that during Central Fiction, like, they release it like in phases, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, like when they introduce 9, etc. So for me, I was hyped because it's a new Blazblue, and in Mu 12, like, she drastically changed throughout Blazblue. Like, she started as a zoning, then they give her some combos, then they make her more rushdown, and now her like her latest iteration, she's more on like rushdown combos, and she's less on keep away. So for me, I felt like my Mu 12 is changing. She's not the same character that I fell in love with. I still love the character, but I felt like the magic was starting to fade away. Then they released the trailer of Izanami, and forever I've been wanting to play like with Izanami. So I saw that trailer, and she's wearing like the whole shebang thing. Then she does this, and then she's like, "Oh my god!" Then I'm hype again, and I cannot go to sleep, and I'm calling my wife. She was my fiance back then. Like, they have Izanami now, and she's like, "Who's Izanami?" And she's like, "The Blazblue character." And like my Facebook and my Twitter, and I'm calling my friends in the middle of the night. For me, I know I rave a lot, but because I really love the game and I really love the series. So after Izanami trailer, I cannot wait. So I remember also back then, like, they suddenly dropped the demo for the Japanese version, like as a pre-order bonus, and it had like online for a limited time, versus and training. And for us, like, really, you're putting all of that in a pre-order bonus? So I bought it, and I invited my friends over, and I skipped work again. Please don't show this video to my boss. He's gonna kill me. Okay, so we played Blazblue, and we tried Central Fiction, and I fell in love with the game all over again. It had Izanami, and I remember I played Izanami. I like touched Mu 12 for like a couple of hours, then I dedicate myself to Izanami. Like, top tier, strong, combos, style, evil. Khalas, she speaks to me, you know. So yeah, and the thing is, like, some of my friends, they switch characters. Like Mom, he started to play Hibiki because Taokaka get destroyed. Then he switched to Izayoi. One of our new friends back then, his name is Rudy. Like, he used to play like Marvel, and he only knew Marvel, so he started playing Blazblue, and he reached a point where he became like the best Blazblue player in our region, like in the whole Gulf region. So he played Izayoi. My friend Miso, he used to play, like, he was the Relius guy. He picked up 9. So that game, it brought a new life, and it brought back a lot of people who like who stopped playing Blazblue. So for me that time it was like some of the best fighting games of my life. And during that time I started to become more open to fighting games, but I always knew that in my heart I'm a Blazblue player. That's how I want to be known, the Blazblue player, Blazblue Bashir, if you know. That's why my username is Murakomo Bashir, because I love the Murakomo units in Blazblue. Then afterwards, when I got married, I went to Philippines, so I met also there for the first time the Philippines fighting game community, and I play Blazblue with them. And to be honest, I wreck most of them, but like one guy, he's a Celica player, he totally destroyed me. So during that time, I was like at the peak, you know, at the peak of my level, at the peak of competitiveness. Like I've went to tournaments, I've traveled, I've seen a lot of people, and that was the time that I felt like it's either I go full committed to fighting games, or I take a step back and just try to balance. Because to be honest, for me, I don't want to have the life of a pro or a competitive player at the end of the day, because in pursuing that kind of thing, I will be losing a lot of things in my current life, you know, like my time with my wife, like my personal life. So that time I decided to take a step back and just play fighting games for the sake of enjoyment, not more for competition. Alana, in my nature, I'm a very competitive guy, but that was a little bit hard decision, but to be honest, it paid off eventually. It made me open to experience more fighting games, and it also made me meet a lot of different players from different communities. Because if I really stuck to one game and I wanted to get good at it, maybe I would have missed out on a lot of things. So to continue the story with Blazblue, after Central Fiction 2.0, we just played the game for like a month. Then like our circle of friends started to drift a little bit, so Blazblue started to die down little by little, and they also showed the trailer for Baby Tag. And for me, I was skeptical about Baby Tag until the very last second, until I played the demo. The game felt really like bootleg, you know, because we're used like to those complex games. Like I played Persona 4 Arena, but I really didn't enjoy that game. I was always interested in Under Night. The Blazblue characters, like they felt missing, but for me, I decided to give Baby Tag a chance. So when the demo came out, like the online one, I downloaded it, and I remember that I didn't stop playing because I felt like there was a great game inside of this one. It just needed more time to mature. And during that time, I decided just to drop Blazblue and focus on Baby Tag. Also, during that time in January in 2018, they released Dragon Ball FighterZ. But that game, like, even though I played it and I went to tournaments and etc., it didn't really click with me. So I decided to stick with Baby Tag for, like, to be honest, I gambled because I felt like this game either is gonna be successful or it's gonna die eventually. So I played Baby Tag, and the version 1.1, like until 1.13, it felt incomplete, you know. It was fun, but it was like shallow fun. I was always comparing it like to Central Fiction, you know. And always my friends were telling me, why you're playing like half Blazblue? But I really ignored that kind of talk, and it paid off. Even though there was like some issues with the communication, with the delayed balancing of the game got better like with 1.5, and that was the time that I started to really like pursue becoming a content creator. And that made me also love Baby Tag more, because like they give all the characters like a new cool stuff. Ruby changed a lot, she became like a really interesting character, so that got me hooked on the game. And that is why until today I'm playing Baby Tag, and I still play Central Fiction, but I play it with my friends. So for me, I know I've been talking for a while now, but for me Blazblue is special. Like it got me excited, it got me into fighting games, it helped me meet a lot of wonderful people who are now like an important part of my life. It exposed me like to a new aspect of gaming, a new aspect of life. I went to Japan last year with my wife. Not last year. That was like in January. Yeah. So I went with my wife in January, and I was really excited, like to put my hands on a arcade stick, like a Nessic arcade stick, and I play Blazblue in the Japanese arcade.
Again.
The dream is real. It's also online. Oh my god! I cannot believe it, to be honest. It's as if I'm dreaming. I'm playing Blazblue in Japan. I'm playing Blazblue in Japan. Can you believe that?
Skip now.
Ayaw. DB player. To be honest, it led to some arguments with my wife, but I felt like the ultimate dream for me as a Blazblue player is I will sit in an arcade cabinet somewhere in Tokyo, in Akihabara, and whatever, and I'll just play Blazblue like, here comes a new challenger, you know. For me, when that happened, like, I kind of had some questionable feelings, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so yeah. So that was my fighting game career in a nutshell. Now I'm less on competition, more on content creation. I really enjoy content creation, and I really enjoy like sharing the knowledge that I have acquired in the past years playing fighting games, like combo videos, tutorials, etc. Because I hope that by the content that I make, that I introduce more people to fighting games and they get to experience the same things that I experience. Because Blazblue in particular, it connected me to a lot of people in my social circle, and it introduced me to a lot of good things about my life. So I'm very thankful, like, for that game existing, to be honest. It's special. And for me, if I'm gonna remember something about gaming in the past 10 years, it is gonna be Blazblue. Even though I love a lot of other series like the Legend of Heroes, like Final Fantasy, Persona, the RPG games, that's the one that is stuck with me. And I don't think that I will stop playing anytime soon. And I hope in the next couple of years or in the next year that we will have a main Blazblue title. Because I don't want this to end. I want to keep on playing Blazblue. I want the game to be updated. I don't want it to disappear, because it will feel really sad to me if I don't get to play Blazblue, like new Blazblue anymore. That it's something that only in my memory. I cannot experience it now. So yeah, that's it. Maybe I get a little bit emotional, but that's because I really care about the game. So thank you as always for watching. Happy New Year and Happy New Decade, guys! I hope that 2020 will be a good year for all of you. Be excited because we have Blue Fantasy, we have Guilty Gear Strive, we have Street Fighter. No Street Fighter for me anymore. Even though Blue feels like maybe it will be simplistic, I feel like the game will be good. Guilty Gear, I don't know. It doesn't have Ram Lethal, so I'm not really too much excited about it. The graphics look cool and those things, but I need that character that will click with me. For Blue, I'm already decided on playing Fairy. So, khalas, I'm already set. I hope 2020 will bring something blue. And if any Arc System by any chance watching this video, please release a new Blazblue. I'm gonna give you all the money in my wallet, so just take it and give me a Blazblue. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.